Yo, good morning to everyone out there listening right now, or good afternoon, whatever time it is in the world, wherever you are in the world. In Kansas, it is, in Kansas, it is mid morning, early afternoon. Um, Not sure where Elijah or, I've never known how to pronounce your name, man. I think it just any one or the other. I don't know. I'll have a fun space up here on stage with myself if I have to. But I'll tweet this out in a second. So if either of y'all want to come up on stage, feel free to. Otherwise, I don't know, man. I'll just sit here and go through whatever else until then. I feel bad. I started the space a few minutes late again. Happens. It's what happens whenever you use a two-phone system. Two-phone system to be able to get going with hosting the space and being able to then go back over and I guess having both accounts running on here simultaneously. Got it figured out though, so we're here. We're live. It's another wonky Friday. One of the best days of the entire week, in my unbiased opinion. Cube, what's going on, man? Welcome back up on stage.
Well, a couple technical difficulties with the AirPods. It's a great day. I tweeted it out this morning. My 4-year-old saw her first massive rainbow and absolutely lost her shit.
No way.
So got some great pictures out of the deal. But, I mean, I think that set the stage for an amazing day. It's Friday. Gonna go play a little bit of golf ahead of a massive tournament this weekend. Get a little practice round in, see if I can win some money to funnel into some Wonky Stonk bids.
Bro, what is the feeling whenever that happens, right? Like whenever, because I'm not a father and I'm just curious, whenever you see your kid kind of notice and appreciate something like that for the first time, how does it feel for you?
Dude, everybody speaks in cliches like parenting is the best thing in the world, but it's truly magical, as ridiculous as that sounds. When they experience something as simple as a rainbow, if you could have seen her face, it makes everything worth it. Like I've said in spaces previously, parenting is unbelievably difficult. Your life is never the same, and there are more difficult / shitty parts than there are really cool ones. But the very cool, the rare, the first times things happen is so momentous and makes it worth it, 10, 20 fold. You're basically leverage trading your emotions when you have children.
Shoot, I believe it, man,
cool.
because I believe whenever they're upset, and especially if you feel like you're the cause, like that has to hurt 20 times more also.
Oh, like wait till eventually you'll probably have kids someday, right? Daycare drop off is the worst thing in the world because they don't want you to go.
Shoot, yeah.
You're like, Jesus Christ, I gotta get to work. And sometimes you're stuck there for 10, 15 minutes, kids. It's just there's at least one kid at daycare having a full-blown meltdown whenever you show up. But like I said, it's totally worth it. It means that, hey, at least they miss you, so you're doing something right.
So they feel that sense of abandonment. And I mean, I guess in their eyes, probably day one, I mean, they are being abandoned, right? Like it's the first time they've ever been dropped off with somebody random. And
but here's the thing, and the kids are intuitively smart. And our 4-year-old, she is a master manipulator, and now she just does it for attention so she can get shit out of the deal. It's crazy. So but it's a blast. And then so then we got a year and a half I got two girls, and they are complete opposite babies at the baby's threshold. The point in life compared to where the 4-year-old was, at that time, total opposites. It's mind blowing, and so it's cool to watch that stuff evolve. And you go to work, come home, see the kids, pick them up. That's fun, and then you degen out on NFTs with your NFT friends, like the Wonky Stonks band.
I love it, man. Well, one of the things from your job that sounds cool is you have a little bit of flexibility with what you do from the sounds of it, right? You're not in the office 24/7. So it sounds like you've got a little bit of flexibility to kind of be able to make time in the margin for some of that stuff.
That's what's cool about this space is it's kind of you can always find somebody to talk to, be it a Discord or on Twitter. But yeah, me being in the sales role, it ebbs and flows in cycles. Um, but yeah, somebody's always there to shoot the shit, or there's always something happening. So yeah, I'm very fortunate and blessed in that regard that I love what I do. I get to help feed America. That's good shit.
I love it, man. I love it. I'm trying to. My MetaMask was being slow. I'm trying to get on there right now and pick out a stonk of the day to give away.
Nice.
Let's
Well, and
see.
I got to shout you and Hondo out for what you did with the
That's all
whole adding
Hondo.
the trait bidding feature.
Yeah, it's all Hondo. I mean, it's like a click of a button, but got it done. So it's in there. But yeah, no, Hondo took care of that. We had to call and talk through a few things this last week, and yeah, that was one of them. And he just immediately went and knocked it out. So, but yeah, it is pretty cool, and it's one of those things I'm surprised we didn't have enabled earlier because it makes it a lot easier. Like, I saw Jake Webster or whatever, ended up getting a few or a couple of really sick gradient bids that he ended up getting accepted. I think that he bid right above whatever, the collection offer was. And he got some sick gradients that he was able to just, take, or the wonky gradients just sweep well below the floor because that was enabled. And, I love it, man, because it's one of those things where, hey, if it enables people to be able to stack like that, like why not? I'd rather have people that, are collecting and want to add to that, be able to have that type of ability than just, some type of floor flipper at the bottom. And again, like no hate toward whoever's doing that. Like I think all activity on a collection is good activity. But like, hey, enable it to the people that really want to be able to, do that and keep it. Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. So like, if you go back to my Genesis wallet, I have like 300 some stonks saved, most of which are ribbons, ichis, or just awesome gradients. This is gonna make my life a whole hell of a lot easier. But fun fact that I realized. So I bought some ETH this morning, wrapped it, and then forgot that I had some bids out on Ease. You can make your collection offer. I set it for 3 days. This was on Easus, right? And so the ETH got transferred over. I'm looking through my wallet and like only part of my wet ETH came through. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Well, turns out my offers were still on the Ezu. So I had an Ezu get accepted that is literally ranked 14,500 out of 500. Now I'm trying to sell that so I can make my ribbon off. So I got
and was the offer like an old offer well above what the floor is or something like that too?
No, it's not grow. Okay, so it was an old offer. The offer was for 0.08. The floor is at like 0.075 right now. So it was above the floor. And then I get this 2%, sub 2% bottom dweller in rarity. And I like what the Easy's look cool, but I don't vibe with the one that's in my wallet right now. And I want to bid on some ribbons.
I feel that,
But
man.
I digress.
That's funny, dude. I mean, it almost like obviously not the exact same scenario, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of like what happened with the keyboard monkey Penguin saga recently, where he had those old listings that were still on. Whenever he got his whenever his bid was accepted, he still had those old listings, and it's one of those messy things that you know can easily get you, I guess, if you spend long enough in a collection and just kind of forget about it. Like it's, I think it can happen to the best of us. And I almost think it's impressive though, Cube. I think there should be something said. You know, there's a lot of value put toward the rarest things of a collection. I think there should be something said for having something toward the spectrum of like the absolute most common of a collection as well.
Yeah, the what would be the politically incorrect thing? The short fudge of the collection, so to speak. But that's what I had a bid accepted on this morning, and I'm trying to tax loss harvest that for a .01, 0.01 loss. So let's go. If anybody's in the market for an Izu, I'll make you a hell of a deal. Love the Izus though, not talking shit, and just don't like the one that I have. Bog's up here.
It's funny. What's up, Bog?
What's going on, everyone? Dude.
What's up, Bog?
Not much. I'm talking to Luca later about we're having a call. We're going to get this mochi donut thing going. We're going to probably have a thing in Art Basel. So it's going to be, my joke of an idea is becoming, I'm memeing it into reality. So that's always fun. But I was going to say, I just saw like an interesting tweet. I feel like you did this first, Kaleo, but ice bags, they're like buying back 5% of their supply. I'm like, I think I know someone who did that already.
I mean, let's see. I've done like at least a few hundred stocks total, like at least.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you should tweet. You got to reply back. You got to reply back and be like, dude, I'm giving them. I'm not only like he's vesting them in a smart contract for 2 years. I'm like, dog, I'm handing these back to the community.
I'm not even.
I was gonna say you're
maybe that was a smarter way to do it, Bog. Maybe I should have said like I'm gonna lock these up and sell them again one day. But no, they're just all right, giving them away.
No, it's gonna work. It's gonna work, man. Look at what's happening with the ROGs right now. Memes, like people don't understand. Like the thing about meme like things in general, like you don't know when they're gonna hit, but when they do hit, they're gonna hit hard. And I think anytime, like I think it's gonna be the next bull market because no one's trading shit coins now. So
that's
like,
my thing too. Yeah, like and that's what we've talked about during all of this too. Is the expectation that I have for the stocks, again, it's one of those things like, dude, if you just vibe and survive throughout the bear market, like value usually finds itself on the other side during the bull. And yeah, that's the whole thing. And I think not just the stocks, right? It's really any project that you're passionate about. Like it's, like that's what it's going to look like, unfortunately. And why I say unfortunately, because like in this space, people become so accustomed to the quick, dopamine fill of just immediately getting into something and then shoot, it does a 20x and then you're out, right? Like, and I don't think that teaches good habits either for being able to really be successful in this space. And that's one thing that's a little bit different about NFTs. It's like, okay, you got them. And, there's not nearly the type of mentality across the board, at least on the public facing side of things, for searching that out. Obviously, whenever you start tracking down individual wallets, like it's a different story. But, I think it's one of those things again, like, it'll pay off on the other side, in the next couple of years, whenever the bull market starts, high conviction projects, high conviction investments. Like, dude, that's the type of thing that, patience with it usually, like you have a better chance of it paying off.
Yeah, no, I locked all my stonks in my, one of my cold wallets. So it's like, that's just chilling. And I think the funny thing is going to be like, I think pseudo swap is the way, like I kind of like picture it now. Like I wouldn't set up a pool now, but we could set up a big pool like when things start getting hot and like people will be trading pictures of stonks and stonks itself on pseudo swap will be like the meme, like that. It'll be really funny. But I think pseudo swap is the future. Messi's making a killing, man. I wish I followed his play on the Renga boxes. He bought a bunch of Webiverse. He bought it. Now he's just like memeing boxes. Like he bought like 500 Doodles boxes. I don't know. Like he's cornering the boxes market. I think that's like
Messi.
like
Which like
altcoin Messi.
Altcoin. Who's altcoin Messi?
The shitcoin guy. Remember?
Are you talking about Ad Infinitum?
Yeah. Like
okay.
He's on his alt now, though. I don't think he tweets on his main anymore.
He doesn't tweet on his. What's his alt? I didn't know he had an alt.
Oh yeah, it's Lord Bogdanov. It's private, so I can't pin anything.
Let's see. I'm surprised I didn't know he had an alt. But okay, yeah, I looked at it. Rengabolke. Okay, he has Lord Bog. Dude, what the heck? I would have followed him a long time ago.
Yeah, he's been like degenning really hard with. He has the number one pool. I think he has like the most transactions on SudoSwap. So if they do like a transaction,
like the most transactions on SudoSwap total for
all of his pools. Yeah, he has like tens of thousands. Like I think he's gonna get like literally a 7-figure airdrop from Sudo if they wind up doing that.
Well, it depends on how they do their airdrop as
True.
well, right? Like,
yeah. If it's volume based or
yeah, because like I know Bob Laxative got a little bit screwed when it came to the ENS airdrop.
Yeah, I'm still screwed.
To be
on
fair,
that.
Bob Laxative still made out all right with all of his ENS domain names.
Yeah, he made a killing on that. One of the regrets, not getting those 3 or 4 digits when I had the chance to. Oof.
Yeah. I feel that bad. Okay, yeah, here's what it is. So I looked at, Messi just has deleted all his tweets, so it's just tough to be able to look through all of them. I remember talking to him. I met him a couple of years back. Good dude. Met him my first Bitcoin conference that I went to in 2021. So I guess that was last year, not a couple of years back, a little over a year ago. Just, dude, some of the time flies by and that type of stuff. But, here's my deal with the Ringa thing. I know nothing about it. And again, I just don't feel confident entering into the newer mint side of things.
Yeah, so I don't know if he got a little bit lucky because apparently there's there's rumors of like a 10K TF collaborate or they're behind it. Yeah.
I looked at it. Ringa's at 2 now?
Yeah. So people are talking about it. It's gonna dump after the fact, but everyone's talking it up because they think it's related to Wagner Son and 10K TF. But I didn't look into it, and yeah, it's sending way too hard right now to get into.
Yeah, I swear it's always the ones that I look at and then that I don't touch. And again, that's why I just don't involve myself with these newer mints because I'll do 20 of these and all 20 of them will end up just completely flatlining, and then the one that I decide not to is going to do something like this.
Oh, that's how NFTs work, 100%. That's why I'm just buying a bunch of I think now I bought a bunch of home run things, and I'm just all right, if it's probably just a joke, and I don't know. I'm gonna create a bot for the yoga.
your yoga.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get a dev to create a bot to figure out to get all accounts for all ape holders, and it just responds with their yoga ape every time they tweet. I don't know if it's possible, but I think it is. And my thesis is I'm gonna annoy them so much that they're gonna just buy back the yoga ape and just send it to a burn wallet. That's my that's called activist investing.
Thesis?
That's activist investing, actually. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm looking at the market right now, or looking at some of the chart. It looks so ugly. I'm just praying. I'm like, God, please.
Yeah.
I don't want to come back here next week and be doing this at 12. Hey, I will happily, regardless of what the price is, but man, it's going to be a different environment if we're sitting here talking at 12K next. But you know what? You can say the same thing every time. We said the same thing at 40K. Oh shit, if it's at 20K, that's going to be tough. 12K, if it hit down to, and I'm just throwing out random numbers. I'm not saying that's where I expect it to go, but let's just say it did. That'd also be tough, but we'd still be here. Be fine.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're okay. I mean, the whole FedEx thing this morning. I don't know if that was just FedEx specific or like, because like UPS seemed to be okay. And I don't know.
Was
Like,
that this morning? I thought I saw something yesterday,
oh
like
yeah, their earnings
afternoon,
call.
about them.
Yeah, I think it was just their earnings call. It was aftermarket yesterday, and then I guess it fell a little bit more this morning. But
So, dude, catch me up on that, because I could have, like, was it just basically them saying, "Hey, we're way down on what we're seeing, shipping, sending, whatever else, like,
yeah, so they like they're
and we
not
expect a
disclosing
recession."
guidance. Yeah, they're not doing guidance for the foreseeable future, and they still, oddly enough, they still have like these like revenue targets for like 2025, and like they're still saying they're going to meet them, but they're not disclosing guidance for like the next year. Um, but yeah, like I was looking at UPS, and like it took a little bit of a hit. It's actually 6-7%, but FedEx is down like 20%. And they're just saying, there's things are slowing down. I don't think they raised their prices too. I think it's more so like the new CEO kind of like mishandling, like just operations and stuff, because it seems like UPS is fine. But I don't know. It's like I saw the funniest tweet this morning. I forgot who it was, but it's like FedEx can tell me there's a global recession coming, but they can't tell me my package is going to be late. you know and dude, everyone's so bearish. I know they have a right to be bearish, but like it's hard to be bearish when everyone on the planet is bearish. And I know sometimes everyone could be right, but I don't know. It's like, look at like the ETH supply too, man. Like it's like, what is it, 2% emissions, and until Shanghai comes out, like everything's really going to be like, you're not going to be getting dumped on. Like, I don't know. Like, this seems like it's like an overreaction, and even this morning with the SPY gapping down like 2%, BTC and ETH really didn't,
Well, but
react.
here's the deal, though, on that, Bog. I'm looking at it. Okay, if it somehow plays out like, what it's shaping up right now for SPY, if it plays out like it did the last couple of times that it looked like this, I mean, the downside from here would be like another 14% for SPY. For the bottom of that, like, wedge, the falling wedge that we've been stuck in, that would be kind of the support baseline. And, for the stock market, that's a rather sizable move. So I'm just like sitting there hoping from that technical side that I'm looking at, that I'm like, shit, I really hope this doesn't play out. Because then you sit there and you wonder, we've seen that type of falling wedge before. And on the 1, 2, 3, the fourth tap, a lot of the times the support on that fourth bounce is a little bit more of a dead cat bounce in and of itself there. And then it'll just completely fall off the cliff, for the big wick final flush past that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Did you
Hopefully
see?
that's completely
The
baseless and
Have you just
wrong.
seen the charts with like leading up to like on a midterm year? And I guess it could be a little bit of hopium, but
Well,
usually
yeah, that's,
October kind of everything kind of bottoms out.
bro. That's been, my, like, one silver lining potential bullish case this entire time has been, okay, midterms are coming up. God, please let them pull something out of their asses and save this market.
I will
So,
tell you, Colette, and I'm curious your thoughts. The one that worries me the most, and I know that the White House intervened, is the rail strike, the possible rail strike. That would
I haven't even heard of the rail strike.
so yeah. Because the big railroad, the two biggest railroad labor unions are talking about wanting to strike. The White House this week came out, intervened, and got all the bosses together. And right now they're still, running at full speed. Now, how long the railroad workers unions they're going to be happy for? But if the railroads decide to strike, that's going to F absolutely everything, because everything that goes out on rail is going to have to find wheels, and we're already, a shortage for trucking and logistics. That's the big thing I'm watching.
But like, I don't think the Dems are gonna let that happen like this close to elect. Like, I think they're
Can
like
they stop
forced
it
to like
though?
cave
Can
in.
they? Like, that's the
That's a
question.
Bog. Yeah, that's a fair point. Is they're not going to let it happen during election run-up, but afterwards, who's to say? Not. And I guess you would say that the left typically caters towards unions outside of police unions. But so that's something to think about coming down the pike too. That I'm watching pretty closely, just in the industry that I work in. So
I feel
food for
kind of
thought.
bad. Like, we need a little bit more of a biased perspective on stage. So if anybody has their pronouns in their bio and would like to come up on stage and speak to provide a little bit of, a little bit of counter bias, feel free to request. I'll bring you up here.
I am Cube. Cube is me.
I am Peng. My Peng is me. I think I'm part Froyo cat now too. Apparently.
Part Froyo cat. Yeah, I guess you've got the Froyos now, don't you?
Do you have one, right?
No, I don't have a Froyo cat.
Dude, you need.
Oh, no, yeah,
We need
I
to
do.
get
What
you
am I
a
talking about?
Froyo cat.
I do
She's
have a
making
Froyo
20
cat.
more.
What am I talking about?
Oh,
No, I do
okay.
have a Froyo cat.
You got a 101
crazy.
Froyo cat, I thought.
Yeah, I've got a Froyo cat. We're good.
Yeah. I don't think people know about the Froyo kittens. I actually don't have any, but PP just is convincing me to buy like a shit ton of them because he filled and now he's shilling onto me.
Oh, yeah, dude, I think I've got two that I minted because, yeah, I've got the cat. So, yeah, I minted them. But I don't know, man. Here's my cute thesis basically goes as follows. It's like a lot of these projects, like the kittens, I think, have the potential to make a run up, but realistically, what you're looking at here is I think that you've got to see a run up led by some of the larger cap projects first that then trickles down into some of these smaller ones, right? And like,
Yeah.
that's typically the way this market goes, right? Because like there's got to be confidence at the top and then it's a trickle down effect.
I honestly think you're onto something. I saw the last time Pudgies had their little run, you started seeing people pay attention to the cute. And Seals had a little run. Then you had the Chubby Corns had a little run. So yeah, I think especially in this bear, man, people are like fighting for liquidity. So whenever the cute thesis is alive and well, and honestly, like I know I'm kind of biased, but I think Pudgies lead that charge. And once it's kind of like the trickle down Pingunomics, right?
I got a question. Like, what do you guys like? I feel like when you're looking at stuff to buy, that's the hard thing. I think the best thing to do is filter out stuff not to buy. So, like, what in your opinion is like things you're just staying away from, and like with just a gut feeling, or if you have any reasons for like just strongly staying away? I think I'm staying away from Metaverse Land.
Oh, dude, I'm staying away from anything that does massive multiples, like Renga. I stay away from it because I know that it's probably going to do a 10x unless I buy it, and like I will be the death nail in that project. So,
It's like the Nickelodeon NFTs.
yeah, like the Nickelodeon NFTs, bro. I mean, like anything that's overhyped, you never want to buy. Okay, if there's anything that is overhyped, you never want to buy it when it's being hyped like that because you're going to end up buying into some top wick and
Yeah.
see it retrace. I mean, heck, you can even look at the Goblins as an example, right? Like Goblin Town WTF, where, hey, there were a lot of people that said, why would it run any higher than 1 or 2 ETH? When it reached there, everybody was like, oh, that's insane. It already reached 1 or 2 ETH. Well, it went to 8 ETH after that, right? Like, absolute insanity. And there were people even that were late to that pump that still ended up seeing multiples. But if you didn't get out from that very quickly, what is it today? It's like 0.8 ETH or something, right? And, trickling, slowly bleeding out lower. And it's one of those things that, again, whether, you might have some short term upside with some of these, whatever, But a lot of the time when something explodes that quickly, it slowly just bleeds out, and it's very difficult to reach that level of hype again. So like everybody's just discontented because they experience one feeling of euphoria, and now that is their association with that project, and that is basically it from the get go. It just leads toward like there's not really much that can satisfy that feeling again. So it just sets it up for difficulty later on.
So, follow-up question. I think you've kind of already answered it, so maybe I'm just like adding fuel to the fire. Do you think it's like fair enough to make the assessment that like buying the dip on some of these things that are 80, 90, 95% off all-time highs is similar to buying like some of these dino coins? And like, can you use that as like a valid analogy, I guess?
100%. I don't see why you couldn't. Yeah. So,
yeah, I think you're right, because you still have that bag holder mentality that you have on the altcoins, and it's like
the bag holder effect is like one of the laws, like the three laws of like crypto. Like if there's like I feel like the bag holder effect is real because it's just psychology.
You have these people who have been buying the dip and like buying their first whatever. I don't want to name any NFT names, but they have been buying stuff like on the way down. And like it just keeps going down. It's like those people who bought on the way down are frustrated with their buy, and they're going to be looking to exit because they're fighting for liquidity.
I think it also matters on the magnitude of it, right? If something went from like 10 ETH to 1 ETH, it's a lot harder than something that went from like 0.5 ETH to like 0.05.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
Yeah. Oh man, Bog, I'm looking at my ultimate, I hate being this guy, my ultimate doomsday target for SPX. If somehow like this dump really did what it could potentially do, say that it hits the baseline of the falling wedge, has that little dead cat, and we break down out of it, the ultimate baseline wick support somewhere around 2K for SPX.
Oof. Yeah.
How insane, how insane would that be, a 50% drop from here in the stock market? Like, I don't think it's going to happen still. I'm leaning against it, but shit, like, if that bottom of the baseline broke, it'd be bad. So I'm just, again, we're just hoping that something with the midterm saves us from all that. And
if that happens, like, you can just picture with everything else, like, DXY is going to be like 160. Like, I don't know what rates are going to be. Like, it's going to be like bananas.
It'll be so insane. So, but here's the thing that I think we repeated on here continuously, dude. Like, just make sure you got some capital stacked aside, right? Because if we do get that type of dip, I don't think it's going to last that long, and there will be some major opportunities that come along with it.
I'm assuming you're just buying like BTC and ETH at that point, right? You're just to dip your toes back in.
Yeah, dude, honestly, yeah, buying something for sure is going to be able to, bounce back from there is probably the smartest move. Like, who knows what BTC and ETH do? Like, again, if the stock market crashes 50% in a worst case scenario, who knows what BTC and ETH will do? Oh man,
I love that we've gotten to the point in the cycle where we could just laugh, be like, "What the fuck is gonna happen?"
We just gotta laugh, man. The thing is, if you like been here before and you've seen like these moves, it's like, all right, it could happen. I'm not rolling out, but
that's like the best piece of advice I give people who are like dipping their toes into the water for the first time in the markets. I'm like, dude, like, don't get upset when you like lose money, because it's gonna happen. Like you just got to get to the point where you can just laugh about it, because like, while it may look like it's on the brink of death, eventually it's going to come back. But it's easier to laugh than it is to cry at some point.
Yeah, I didn't fully make it this cycle. I did pretty well, but like, I'm just happy. I'm like in a way better position than I was in 2018. So I think that's kind of what matters. You got to learn
Oh,
from
dude, I made the same
fucking
mistakes
mistakes.
this time I did in 2018. I'm fucked. But I know better than to like squall over it, man. You just got to keep grinding.
I got bailed out by like a last minute shit fucking degen play in like October.
Yo, Taylor, you were asking about pronouns, right?
Yeah.
I used to have mine in my bio, D and Jen. Those are the pronouns that I go by. Please identify me as that. So thank you.
All right. Well, good to know. Appreciate that D let us know what Jen thinks about this. Did I use them correctly? Please help me if I'm wrong.
I'm more of a D today. Today I'm feeling more of a D than the Jen.
Okay.
Hey guys,
What's going on?
how are you doing, guys?
Kaleo, don't boot Anton off the stage today.
Anton, I'm about to kick your ass if you stay in here 1 minute longer.
Honestly, guys, this time I feel a bit scared to speak because I may get blocked again. So, yeah. If I would like to ask something, guys, I've joined the space now, and I would like to ask your opinion. There is no financial advice or so on and so forth. If in case we see a 12K BDC, is it worth it to go and buy some shitcoins because they will be like completely in a discount, or is that too risky? For example,
I'm not touching it until like we're like in the clear with like the majors.
I mean, you will get like not all the shitcoins like Shiba and this kind of things, but I mean some of them that are a bit better than Shiba, for example. You get my point. So is that too risky, for example?
So too risky to buy like altcoins right now? I'm sorry.
I mean, if we see a 12K BTC, for example, the rest of the shitcoins will be like in completely
Oh,
discount. Like they will be like
bro,
completely dead. And for example, if you want to waste like $1,000, you
yeah,
can.
okay.
It's like
You
a.
phrased it perfectly. If you want to waste $1,000, then yes, like that's the play. Buy some shit coins on the dip, and you like it's almost like playing with 100x leverage in that type of situation because you got a decent chance that some of those shit coins are just going to keep bleeding out lower. Versus BTC and ETH. At that point, you're like, well, these for sure aren't going to go to zero. So you at least maintain some value regardless of what happens, right? Like, so that's like again, you're just the lower market cap that you start to play with, the higher the opportunity for
To
the higher
get
risk.
wrecked.
Yeah,
To
the
get
higher
wrecked.
risk.
I don't think I've heard you this tickled about a dying market before, Kaleo.
Oh my God,
Bro,
that's true.
I don't know, man. I'm just looking at it. I'm like just sitting here praying, God, please. Oh man, I mean, it just like the gut feeling that I have right now, PP, is just like it's like the gut feeling of what I had back when BTC was at 40K. I really didn't want to see BTC crash from 40K, and I mean, it did. It's kind of the gut feeling I have right now, and I'm just, like again, it is what it is. Like we're gonna survive. It'll be fine. We're gonna have our own great recession if it happens. We'll be able to tell our kids and their kids. We'll have our
That
penguins
we
and our
survived.
stonks to hedge us, to bring us to Valhalla on the other side of it all, and but until then, we just survive and pray.
Bog brought up an interesting thought yesterday when we were in spaces. Just like some of these, like quote unquote blue chips, when you look at their charts compared to the pudgies, it's almost like we're still waiting for some almost like capitulation event to where like all these big like name NFTs. I'm gonna not refer to them by name because I don't want to FUD any of them. But if you just look at their charts compared to Pudgy's, like they're on the, it looks like BTC did, like at the very tip top, and then you look at Pudgy's and it's like been on the up and up. They're gonna FOMO into like projects that are actually doing something, in my opinion. And it's like nobody else is doing anything. They're just hyping people up with Ponzi's right now.
Yeah. Wait, 1 second, Matt. I'm going to bring you up to stage just so you're requesting right now.
Bro, how are Doodles worth $700 million? That's like 20% of what Disney bought Star Wars for. It's absolutely insanity.
Well, never mind.
Yeah, it is a pretty insane evaluation whenever you think about it.
Especially when Luca bought the Pudgy Penguins IP for friggin' $2 million.
I mean, I won't lie. I'm just. I wonder for some of these VCs that are dumping that much for the valuation into some of these projects, like, what is the upside that they're looking at here?
Yeah.
And I don't have the vision, and I honestly would love to see a couple of these, big VC raised projects absolutely kill it so that I can see, oh, okay, yeah, like it did work out, and here's the map for what they did, and oh man, it all seems obvious in retrospect, but I don't know, man. I'm struggling to see it right now personally.
What was the raise? It was like 50 million?
54 million, and I guess it's like a, diluted, it's like a 704 million valuation. But I like the VC's job is to just buy low and dump higher, like buy, but like I don't know, like what's their outlook. I wish I knew like big VC guys and could pick their brain, but like I guess it just doesn't. It makes absolutely no sense right now.
Sorry, I think I rugged myself there for a second. Yeah, no, I mean it's a head scratcher, but like it's it is a little bit of a silver lining in a market where it's saying, okay, there's still a decent amount of interest in some of these, right? Like even in the midst of unfavorable conditions. So you ask yourself, like, shit, man, if they can raise at that valuation in a bear market, what are some of these projects going to raise at in the next bull market?
Yeah, that's an interesting point.
Yeah, no, totally fair. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I guess I feel like a lot better this cycle than I did last cycle when we were just like questioning like the validity of like any of this, and now it's like it's not really even a meme. Like even building with the Pudgy community and doing like some stuff like that's keeping me busy while I distract myself from trading shit coins. I don't know. I feel like it's fun, and regardless of what happens, with the macro, I'm not smart enough to figure out what's going to happen. I just know that you just need a little patience right now, and you can figure it out then. But it's easier like to kind of decompress and sit back and try to, like analyze what's going on than staring at 15-minute candles all day. Anton,
Yeah, no,
you
it
been
really
trading?
is.
Anton,
It makes
how much have you been trading?
Me, guys, honestly, I have stopped trading. It's been a month now. I'm back home, actually having some rest, and I haven't touched anything. I just stayed away since last time I blew up my portfolio. I haven't, but from Tuesday I will start again, and I will be trading only BDC, nothing else, because the rest are like a suicide mission. So no way.
I got a big
I don't want
question.
to get wrecked. I don't want to get wrecked. Only
What have you
BDC.
learned? What have you learned from blowing up your account this time? Like what was the, have you like assessed like what was the reason
I
it up? I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I think it's helpful for everyone.
No, thanks. No, I like the question. Thank you very much. I feel like home in this space, honestly, with Kalyo and all you guys. I feel like always you are here, and I feel like honestly, feel like home. The it's a year now that I got involved with trading, and I always like I used to see it going up, 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 never taking profits, and I was like happy, and then I was getting liquidated. The last time that the thing that I learned last time was like I was like my mind was like only bearish, you know. I remember when I was joining the space and always speaking with Kalio, I am sure that I was the only one that I was bearish, and I was saying like it was gonna go down, it's gonna go down, no way, and it went all the way up. So I think this time the thing that I got, and I won't forget it, is like see it from both sides, not only one side. In the bull run, I was only it's gonna go up and up, you know, and then we start the bear market, and then I just got my mindset like bearish, and yeah, that's how I blow up my portfolio. And now, like I said, it's been a month that I haven't touched anything. So yeah, I think the hard way, when you learn something, you learn the hard way, and I'm sure like all of you guys here and everyone that starts trading, if you don't blow up your wallet and if you don't go through the hell, let's say it, you won't be a proper trader. You're just gonna be like a tourist. I don't know if that makes sense. So that's the thing I learned, and being here still, so I'll be able to learn more. So hopefully in the next bull run we will all be rich.
Do you think you're going to make that same mistake again? Or there's a
uh,
possibility of making that same mistake again?
No, I don't think that I'm gonna make the same mistake, because as a person, I always learn the hard way, and when I learn something the hard way, I once I go and once I go there and to do the same mistake, for example, something will click on my mind and will remind me that I did this and I got wrecked, so I'm not gonna be doing the same mistake. Hopefully, I don't know. Who knows? But hopefully, with the mindset that
I,
I have now,
I
I
feel like the biggest thing too is after you wreck yourself, like you become too risk averse, and then when things get really bullish again, you're like really taking, like you're not letting, like you become like too passive, and I mean, yeah, you're not, you want to maximize your profits in a bull market, but I feel like since I fucked up royally in 2018, like I could have just let shit ride in early 2020, like late 2020, like early 2021, some of those shit coins, and I was just a little nervous. So I think like that's another mistake. Like it compounds, right? Where it's like you get too, like, you become too active or too risk on, and then you become like consequently, like you go on the other end of the spectrum and you become too risk averse. And then really the happy medium is just like somewhere in the middle.
well, it makes sense, but I haven't. Honestly, I will try not to do that. Honestly, I will try not to do. I'll try to be the best version of myself, so I can ride the next bull run. But we are humans. We do sometimes mistakes, but yeah, I've been listening to the space, trying to learn as much as possible, so I don't do the same mistakes. So hopefully, yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to be doing the same mistakes, repeating the same things. But it makes sense, and I'm afraid that you are right. That I will be doing the same things as well. I will be doing the same mistakes with you, because this is my first bear market, and yeah, it makes completely sense. But hopefully, it won't be so bad. So we will be
Yeah.
smiling in the end. You know.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's kind of like just from my own personal experience is what happened. I'm sure maybe people are different, but just that's kind of like what happened with me. But again, I think it's always better to be more risk averse. So it's not totally a bad, a total negative thing by any means. But like, it's like kind of mastering like risk management is an ongoing thing, and I don't think we ever really master it, to be honest.
That's a good point. That's a good point, really. I think Kalio should explain us some things here about risk management, because sometimes I get like in my beginnings I was getting like high leverage like 67x and so on and so forth, and Yeah, man. I don't
Well,
wanna. I don't want
my
to go
brother, I
again.
will tell you,
I was getting wrecked. I was getting wrecked, man. Jesus Christ.
that, that type of leverage, most likely you're using zero risk management. Going in any trade with it.
Yeah,
It was my
you're using
beginning,
Suzu.
man. Come
You're using
on.
Odds
Three
are.
Arrows Capital risk management.
Hey, on a lighter topic, Kalea, do you plan on going to Art Basel this year, or do you know, is anyone in the Wonky Stonks community going?
I want to try. I am not positive whether I will or not, but I think I will be.
All right, sweet. I will say that we do plan on having an official Pudgy event. It hasn't been announced yet, but it'll be going on during that time. So, would love to hang out and have a few drinks.
I know a few of the wonky people, some of the OGs. I know B-Ways is going, 80s is, I think T is, Rooster. There's going to be a bunch of some of the OG wonkies there.
Yeah,
I'm not. I have kids.
yeah.
It's
I
my
have kids too, but it's a. I get to say it's part of my work for Pudgy.
I, guys, I
you
Uh,
would
lucky
love
dog.
to, but I'm a bit far, so do not count on me.
dude, Bogfather, he may have a mochi donut food truck by that time. So I'm.
Yeah, I'll be actually working. I'll be blue collar bog that weekend.
Blue collar bog. Love to hear it. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that'd be sick to be able to drive around during Art Basel, the little truck. I'm not sure how all the permits and stuff in the city of Miami work, and Lord knows I don't know where you'd be able to find parking for that thing, but
I think he's one good cool thing is
We were
like
Luke was talking about like getting a lot, like he knows guys, and like luckily he's like the king of Miami, so we'll we have some kind of options, I think. But I'm actually going to talk to him about that in an hour, so we'll see.
well, that's exciting, man. I really want to see how it plays out. Like, I want to go and find some mochi donuts. Still, I still need to do my competitive research for that.
yeah.
Be
I
able to
need.
help and give you some feedback on what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, no, yeah, we I think I've narrowed down like because you need like a fruit one, a savory one, um, a vegan option, complete vegan option. I mean, they're all gluten free. So yeah, I've honestly ate way too many mochi donuts over the last couple of weeks, but I've been kind of compensating and like getting on the Peloton, like double time. But I mean, they're actually just really good. Like I just enjoy them too. I mean, I think that's one of those things you have to enjoy them. If you're gonna open up a business, you have to like really like them. But I don't know. We got to revive donuts. Like they're a staple, and I feel like Dunkin'. Like there's just no good donut shops out there. And I mean, if you see a Pudgy eating a donut, like at the front in the front of the store, it's like how can you resist like not going in? Perfect brand alignment.
No,
Uh,
I mean, it's just like it's cute multiplied times cute. It's that simple.
Cute square.
Cute
I like it.
squared. And I mean, like as long as they're delicious, then that's all you need. So
Yeah. No, I went to, so when I was in Ohio, I had one of the community members just reached out. He's like, yeah, man, I have a bar and grill here and I have a kitchen. And we were just making some test donuts, but he's been working on them, making like batch after batch. And he's starting to add them to his menu for dessert. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what people in Ohio like think about mochi donuts, but we're working on a recipe. So hopefully we have something good by then. That's I think the thing I'm kind of worried about the most is kind of perfecting that. But everything else, like the operational, like an operational standpoint, shouldn't be too hard to get set up.
bro, I'm pumped. Like, I love the fact that you guys are actually following through with this. So I'm excited to see how it progresses. Matt, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I've been following that the railroad thing because it's very important.
Hey, I'm struggling to hear you a little bit. It sounds like you're far away from your mic, sir.
Are you? I'm on Bluetooth. Hold on, give me a minute.
You're cutting out a little bit on us. Like I'm trying. I'm not sure if you're far away or if it's just bad signal.
While he's
I
finding
was
his
on
microphone,
Bluetooth.
I'll
How's
say,
this?
yeah.
Perfect.
I've been following the railroad story because it is very important. The demands from the union aren't anything crazy. As of right now, like they don't even get sick days. They're working 6+ days a week. There's a good Breaking Points is where I get all my news. It's an independent news source, and they do a good breakdown yesterday. Yeah, I just wanted to pop up and give a pro-union take on that.
No, man. I mean, what you said, the demands aren't absolutely insane. I'm just worried about if they do end up striking, right? Just it is supply chain's already fucked. But if that happens, it is going to be mega fucked. So
I think they just know like this is the perfect time to bring it up, though, right? Like from a leverage standpoint, like they have all the leverage. So I don't know. I don't know anything about. I really don't know much about the topic, but just from the little I know, I just think it seems like a good plan. I think it'll probably get resolved, but I haven't looked into it too much. But if it's reasonable and based on the timing, I don't think it's far
no,
fetched. Like it's
to your
gonna happen.
point earlier, yeah, with the midterms coming on, I guess I'd be more worried about it after midterms. Then let the shit go to hell in the handbasket when they can keep the House and whatnot. But yeah, it would not be good. That's all I know. Wonky Stonks.
I mean, it'd never be a good time for that to happen.
Well, so the question is, I think that all of this is boiling down to how can Wonky Stonks save the world? Resolve all the union issues, end inflation, I guess solve world hunger, fix the floods, and like I don't know, man. Like that is the next step from this discussion is what are our action plans to fix everything?
Step one is obviously somebody accepting a ribbon offer that I just made on all ribbons. I mean, that's phase one. Bog, I thought I heard you the other day say you were getting close to 100 stonks. That's probably step two. It's for the greater good. For the greater good. Bog, how many you have?
Oh, my bad. I was just on a call. I have like 85, I think, something like that. So that's really not gonna do too much, but that'll be easy to get to 100.
That's impressive. 85. I think I'm only sitting at like 16 or 17. I need to get some more. 20 is a good number. Double whale status.
Yeah, no, I've been degenning right now on something else that I've been really filling my bags and going for the home run.
The yoga apes?
No, the
No, the
Moody's.
Moody's?
Yeah, I have like 5 or 6% of the supply. I don't know. I just think it's like a long, but I just think it's like a sick art collection. And again, it's like it's not going to do anything till the next market, like till the next cycle. But they're so cheap right now that it's just like I don't know. I have the conviction. I have a reason for doing it. And again, I don't think it's really too far fetched.
I respect it, man. I respect it.
Yeah.
Like it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Ringa art. I mean, completely different, I guess, but like similar. I don't know. Am I wrong that it's a similar genre?
Yeah, it's like I think the artist said like pop surrealism. I'm not a art guy, so I just like kind of nod in my head. I'm like, yeah, pop surrealism. Sure, I know what that means. But I mean, it's I just think it's cool because like you can there's so many like kind of like moods per se that you can like switch them for like whatever the market's doing. Like there's like a perfect like PFP for like every market situation, which is kind of funny for me. I mean if you have 400 and something like me, like you can switch it for any market situation. But I don't know. The artists are pretty dope, and they're pretty well known, and I just know that they sold. Like I was talking to a couple people that collect, and like they've heard of them, and they bought prints for like like mid five figures and stuff. So it's like these guys are like they know what they're doing. So I bought a couple of the one of ones just to like hedge my bet too for like dirt cheap. But yeah, it's one of those things. Like now, like I'm just trying to buy different things, like, and there's a lot of time. Like I'm giving it like at least a year or 18 months to like to go dumpster diving with NFTs. And I don't really even think like the next wave of things that are going to give us like big multiples are really even out yet. It's like, I don't know what the narrative is going to shift to, even with like the royalties things now. Like I wanted to bring up another thing. Have you seen what's going on with like the Meta Shield thing on Solana, Kaleo? Like what they're trying to
No.
do? So I think they're working with Magic Eden. It's this thing called Meta Shield, where unless you sell or you use the exchange, like they have the right to like blur the image or like basically, like screw you over. And it's like you have no ownership over the NFT, and it's like you have to because of they're saying because of royalties, and they're supporting the artist, but realistically, they want that exchange, they want those exchange fees, right? Like they're kind of disguising it as
Yeah.
like, hey, they're like virtue signaling, but we all know like
Yeah,
what they
they're
want.
saying that they're protecting the artist, but they're protecting themselves.
Yeah. And then the bad thing is like if you think about it from like their only value proposition is like, okay, there's less gas fees, and it's just more accessible for the average person to trade NFTs on there. But you have like Anatoly going and like saying like, oh, I support this and yada yada yada, and I just feel like it's such an awful take, and it's like kind of like crazy how they're fumbling the bag with that. But I don't know. I heard like they kind of went back on that stance, and like now they're like because there was so much backlash. But I mean, the thing they don't realize, it's like with crypto, like whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Like you can't control that. Like people are just going to say screw you, right? Like, and that's the thing. So they can say we support this, or like you should be using our exchange, but like the public's just really going to like shift away, and like they're going to say screw you, like we're going to do our own thing. So that's why I think pseudo swap is going to be the thing for the most part. And unless you have like rares, like for like a premium collection, it really won't matter as much.
Shoot, I thought I was muted. I said no, I haven't heard any of that, man. If you have any of the articles on it, I would be interested to read some more, though.
Yeah. I'll pin like there was like a big tweet the other day, but I'll pin that real quick.
My man, appreciate it. Well, actually, gents, I've got to get running a little bit early this afternoon. So I apologize. I've got to go help the girlfriend and her sister pack some lunches for kids. So I don't know.
Good guy, Kaleo.
Apparently we're packing some lunches and giving them away to some shelter. I have no idea, but it should be fun.
That's cool, man.
Respect.
So, all right, y'all.
Cheers,
really
man. Thank you.
it, and hope you guys have a great weekend.
Have a good weekend, bro.
Thank you very much.
Later,
Bye bye,
everyone.
guys.
Take care.